Hey everyone. One heartbreaking thing to discover is finding out that two people you saw as best friends turn out to heavily hate each other privately. This is more prominent between actors because films and shows are just that, putting on an act for people to believe. So it's only natural that the actors don't share that kind of relationship as the ones they portray to the audience. In some scenarios, this can be really sad if you grew up watching this stuff because it reminds you of the simpler times. But at the same time, some people make their hatred so apparent that it's really hard actually not to see as funny. Not to mention that most celebrities are a bit immature, so when it comes to interactions with someone they dislike, you can really see their childish side come out.
Adam and Jamie from Mythbusters couldn't stand each other.
Jamie and I don't get along very well. That's not a secret.
I love this duo.
Josh
I should rephrase that. I don't like this show, but I like the hatred they had between them. That's what I found out.
DiCaprio and Claire Danes, who ironically played the inseparable lovers Romeo and Juliet. Prior to filming the movie, the actors had spoken very highly of one another.
Claire Danes is the most fantastic young actress I've ever.
In his early
Stupid
days,
young Leonardo DiCaprio.
Pranks on his co-stars, which was appreciated by some people on set, but despised by others like Claire Danes. He tried to pull multiple pranks on Danes when the cameras weren't rolling, and the young actor wasn't having it. It's rumored that the young actress found Leo a little immature. For the very same reason, DiCaprio found Danes to be uptight and overly serious, and as a result, according to some sources, the pair barely spoke to one another when not filming scenes together.
Yeah, what a bitch. How dare she not find my funny pranks funny. I think that's a really good couple to start off with, because whenever someone watches like Titanic, they always imagine like the actors really loving each other to make it seem more like authentic, the relationship in the story. But when I see like behind the scenes, they just like fucking hate each other, that makes it way funnier. Because then if you watch the movie again, you can just imagine like every scene would have to be like really intimate, which is like a pain in the ass to do.
Danes was offered but turned down the lead female role in Titanic, with some speculating that she was simply uninterested in doing another film with DiCaprio. Despite this, the two have always talked highly of one another in public.
The dude is a genius. He's been a genius for decades now.
Which wasn't the path taken by Kevin Smith.
That didn't count. That was like way later.
Utter dick. The two had agreed to collaborate on a 2010 movie called Cop Out, and 2 years prior in 2008, Kevin Smith praised Bruce Willis for being his favorite actor and biggest inspiration. However, as the two began working together, Kevin Smith realized he should have never met his hero. Despite Smith being the film's director, Willis refused.
Right off the bat, I like this dynamic of someone like looking up to this other actor.
Bruce, do it like this. I was directing Bruce the way I direct everybody else. And Bruce was like, I've been acting like Bruce Willis for 25 years. Do you really think there's anything you're gonna tell me that I don't know? At a later point during filming, Bruce Willis threatened to punch
I want to know,
Kevin
is this... Jesus, dude, what acting gonna fight? I want to know if this is before or after his mental decline, because yeah, I'm sure everyone knows how much like it was hard for him to act because he started forgetting lines of some mental issue I can't remember about, but it was pretty bad.
In a 2013 interview, Willis clapped back by stating, "Poor Kevin, he's just a whiner, you know. We had some personal issues about how we approached work. I don't have an answer for him. I'm never gonna call him out and lay him out in public. Sometimes you just don't get along, although this isn't the end of the story." After Willis was recently diagnosed with aphasia, Kevin Smith took to Twitter writing, "Long before any of the cop-out stuff, I was a big Bruce Willis fan. So this is really heartbreaking to read. He loved to act and sing, and the loss of that has to be devastating for him. I feel like an asshole for my petty complaints from 2010, so sorry to BW and his family," which is a much nicer ending compared to that of Sylvester Stallone and Richard
No, not
Gere.
Stallone. I love Stallone. I think Bruce Willis's like decline from his acting career was probably the saddest, because it was completely like, out of control. And I'm sure we've all had some process for a minute, so I don't like talk over it, because every time I talk over a bit of the video, I miss like a really important detail. But I just wanted to say that I'm sure we've all seen like the really bad movies he's been in, but I just hope that most people know that he's only acting in them to make money, to pay for his family. That I'm not sure if he like has seen a doctor, but I'm pretty sure he's mentioned that like he's worried that when he passes away, his family won't have enough money to have like a good life. Therefore, he wants to like just do as many shitty roles as possible to make enough money, so he actually has something to give away to his family after he passes away. Which I think that is so sad, but I have to respect him so much through the effort, as well as like wasting so much time in these god-awful movies.
Oversized motorcycle jacket like he was the baddest knight at the round table, although the real argument came when the two were eating lunch together. Stallone stated, "I was eating a hot dog and he climbs in with a half a chicken, covered in mustard with grease nearly dripping out of the aluminium wrapper. I said, that thing is gonna drip all over the place. He said, don't worry about it," which was followed by Richard Gere spilling grease all over Stallone's pants. As a result, Stallone, quote, elbowed him in the side of the head, after which the director chose to replace Richard Gere with a different actor altogether. Despite this taking place more than 50 years ago, Stallone has stated, "To this day he seriously dislikes me," which is an ending also shared by Ariana Grande and Jeanette McCurdy after their one and only season of Sam and Cat. When the show came to an end in 2014, Ariana Grande made an extensive heartfelt twitlonger thanking everybody involved in the production except for the other main co-star Jeanette McCurdy. This implied that the two weren't as close as the show suggested, which was confirmed.
I'm surprised that this is the first actual like female relationship in this video. So far it's been like matured men acting like children, or some of them have some good reason like Bruce Willis, but Sylvester Stallone just elbowed him in the head because he had like a stain on his pants. Really?
That, like, for that week, her character needs to be trapped in a box so she can go perform at the Grammy.
As a result of this, Jeanette would write, "Ariana misses work in pursuit of her music career while I act with a box. I'm pissed about it and I'm pissed at her, jealous of her," before expressing further jealousy in her memoir by attacking Ariana's upbringing. Ariana grew up in Boca Raton, Florida, an incredibly wealthy, idyllic town with a healthy mum who could buy her whatever she wanted whenever she wanted.
God.
Gucci bags, fancy
This is the
makeup.
worst kind of hatred where you look down on someone because they grew up rich, even though most of the time it doesn't really affect how they actually turn out. Most of the time it does. Like some people come out really like spoiled, but some people turn out decent.
And took an instant disliking to Will Smith as she felt it was unfair he'd been given a TV show at the age of 22. Will Smith later stated, "I can straight up say that Janet Hubert wanted the show to be the Aunt Viv of Bel-Air show. She said once, I've been in the business for 10 years and this snotty-nosed punk comes along and gets a show. To her, I'm the Antichrist," while Alfonso Ribeiro, who played Carlton, also noted Janet was painful to work with. "There were days when we were all on set and she would literally go off on people, and they got to a point by the time the second season came around where we're like, this is unacceptable." As someone who was
I haven't even watched the show, but just by looking at her face, she looks like the most annoying human being to be around.
less money to appear in the 4th season, encouraging her to quit, which is exactly what she'd do. However, this only increased her resentment toward Will, as she'd state, "There will never be a reunion, as I will never do anything with an a-hole like Will Smith. He is still an egomaniac and has not grown up. This constant reunion thing will never ever happen in my lifetime unless there is an apology, which he doesn't know the word." Despite stating that there wouldn't be a Fresh Prince reunion, it did eventually happen in November 2020, where more than 30 years later, Janet was still convinced that Will had ruined her life, stating, "I hated what you did, I just hated what you did. You took my career away of 30-something years," as Will Smith's comments about her being difficult made it hard for Janet to land work afterwards.
No, that's bullshit, because he clearly just said that even people behind the scenes during production found her annoying, so don't exactly crucify Will Smith when everyone else found you like detestable to work with.
End of their talk, the two made up and apologized.
No, they hugged. I hate when people like fake hug to make it seem like they're better, but deep down they still don't want to be around each other.
Although Nicki Minaj and Mariah Carey had no interest in doing so. They'd appear alongside one another in season 12 of American Idol, where their almost polar opposite personalities began to clash immediately.
Are you country?
Sorry.
Are you
It's
country?
just that
Do you like
that's what
country?
I
Do you like
do,
country?
Nikki,
And I kind
and
of feel
I
like
sing.
we're
And so
making
when I'm
what
making
we're making her
comments, I'm
do.
trying to help her. We're trying to help her as opposed to just talk about
I'm
her
gonna continue to
outfit.
speak.
Of course, you
well,
always
we're
do.
almost.
This is so cringe.
This argument
This is so cringe.
Every moment. Oh, excuse me. The music will cut me off if I can. Oh, darling, may I express this to her as a singer? I just feel like what maybe trying to be expressed is just sing from your heart the entire time, and you know,
She's gonna pull out a knife and stab her.
regardless of the dirt that gets splattered around you.
after which Nicki threatened Mariah with violence.
Multiple people heard Nikki say, if I had a gun, I would shoot that
leading Mariah to state the following.
It felt like an unsafe work environment. I'm not going to take any chances, so yeah, I did hire more security.
In response to Mariah Carey's claims, Nicki responded by tweeting, "Hey y'all, let's just say Nicki said something about a gun. People will believe it because she's a black rapper. LaMayo, I'll then hit up Barbara and milk it," implying that Mariah had made the story up. Nicki then made another tweet reading, "I guess it hurts to have the producers tell you to your face that Nicki is the best judge we've had since Simon, or poor you, keep them lies coming," implying that Mariah was also simply not as good at judging. For obvious reasons, both judges quit the show after only one season, after which Mariah Carey stated this:
"That was the worst experience of my life. I would never want to be involved with it again."
With Drake Bell and Josh Peck holding a
Yes, I love these guys. They're so cute together.
While it seemed the two had a great time filming Drake and Josh, Drake would take to Twitter in 2017 writing, "When you're not invited to the wedding, the message is clear."
I love the wedding story. It's so funny how petty they both are.
Ties are officially cut, "I'll miss you, brother," which was followed by Drake flaming Josh via text for the very same reason.
I'm getting married that night, and I see these text messages from him, like cursing me out, coming for me. I'm like, on the night of my wedding.
The incident was a sad moment for fans of the show. However, 2 months later, they'd make up, apologize, and even post a 12 million view video together, implying that the duo was on good terms.
That is such bullshit. There are people who watch that video who used to watch Drake and Josh and be like, "Oh my god, they finally made up. This is so nostalgic." But I hate seeing that shit because I know for a fact that that entire meeting was like made up by a PR team who only gives a shit about like getting as much views as possible, and they will completely disregard how they feel about between each other, and they will just be like, "We don't care, just meet up for this dumb video," and then you just go like your separate ways. Just stay on set for this short video we have to put on YouTube.
It would be until 2021 when Drake found himself in a bunch of legal trouble, after which Josh made the claim that they were never really friends.
Are you guys like not friends?
Not really. No. We made this.
I'm sorry, go back. I was stunned. I was shocked. I was in a state of shock seeing that guy's headphones. What the fuck is that?
Not really. No. We made this thing that people really love, but maybe we weren't that close.
So you guys were never close during when you were filming Drake and Josh? You were just kind of co-stars?
Obviously, there were times where we were closer than not, but when inevitably the show ended, I mean, we're just totally different kids.
These statements have since been criticized, given they'd spent a large amount of time together outside of the show, with one of these critics being Drake Bell himself, who'd give numerous
that's his kid.
out together.
That's what bugged me about it. He's like,
Drake and Janet, that's so dumb. That's so on the nose.
Party that I made.
He came all the way to Riverside to support me.
Josh is clearly trying to distance himself from Drake's sketchy legal situation, given Josh is still actively booking movie roles in an industry where
He was an Oppenheimer? Bullshit. Which character was he? Oh my god, he was. They did nothing to his face, but I still somehow didn't recognize him in that. Wow, that's insane. Oppenheimer has such like a massive cast. That's the ones that I really enjoyed about the movie. I found it kind of boring, but I liked seeing all the actors in it. It was cute. It was cute.
Everything. There are obviously mixed reports about whether or not they liked each other as co-stars, although it seems obvious that they're now no longer on speaking terms, and neither are the two main hosts from Mythbusters.
I think this is the last story. I look forward to this.
Hosted the show for more than 12 years, after which an article was published reading, "The Mythbusters always had an amazing secret weapon. They can't stand each other." The article referenced an interview from Entertainment Weekly, in which Jamie stated, "We like to point out we've known each other for 25 years.
There's a video I want to see if Sonny V Chu includes in this, and if he doesn't, I'll put it on after, because it's such a good showcase of how big of a dick one of the guys is.
Is probably not happening." To back this up, Adam stated this.
"No, I don't think Jamie and I will continue to work together on other projects. Jamie and I don't get along very well. That's not a secret we've held."
With him claiming it's not a secret they've held, as it was mentioned.
To be honest, that was not a secret they've held. I just wanted to point out to the audience that they said that.
We are not friends. We tend to drive each other batty. We have never, in the 21 years we've known each other, had dinner alone.
21 years. That has to be the longest relationship time in this whole entire video. 21 years. That got me thinking, what is the limit of how much money you have to be paid for a show to work for that kind of person? For 21 years seems like enough time to make you want to kill someone. And plus, I've seen videos behind the scenes, and yeah, they just hate each other. There was no chemistry at all. And whatever there was, it was funny because they were such opposing characters that it almost seemed like by sheer luck, by sheer universal luck, that they came across each other and were forced to be in a show together that a lot of people enjoyed, but they just despised being with each other at the same time.
Means that we spend a lot of time in sort of conflict.
Periodically, their behind-the-scenes animosity spilled out onto the camera.
What kind of seconds were you counting there? 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10? What kind of seconds are those? Who counts like that?
So it's no surprise that Adam would also state...
Funny, because some fans will look at that and be like, oh, that's so quirky, that's so funny.
Vitriolically angry. We drive each other nuts every day. We get frustrated with each other on a daily basis.
However, the reason they're so proud of their awful friendship is because it's also their key to success.
The friction between Jamie and I has an integrity to it and a chemistry to it. We have respect for each other. We also drive each other absolutely batty.
We're not afraid to say something that hurts the other's feelings because we don't care, Savage says. We consider it a point of pride that the right idea always wins. It doesn't matter whose it is. It's a working relationship based purely on respect and mutual gain, with their unconventional approach resulting in unconventional success as one of the most popular shows in TV.
Oh, okay, I'll have to put it on because it's actually like golden how much of a dick he is. I don't know if it's Jamie or Savage. Wait, I don't even know their names. It's funny how much you can know about like how much they hate each other, but you still don't know their names.
This is actually pretty interesting. This is something
irrefutable evidence that Jamie is a douchebag.
To get it dealt with properly. And Chris,
this is Jamie. I'll have to stop this. This is Jamie Heineman being wrong about his subordinate's ability to follow directions and being too douchey to apologize.
Who is the main shop guy here?
He's so nitpicky. He's actually funny.
Has been with me for ever since we've been in this building. His primary task. He's actually holding the camera right now, so you can't see him. But
what was it?
He's actually holding the camera right now, so you can't see. Was to make sure these stations, I call them, are stocked, because I should never ever have to struggle to find a pencil or a Sharpie. This thing is already screwed up. I've got pins in here, I've got colored things. I can't, no matter what I do, I can't seem to get it to where it's exactly what I'm looking for. We don't want pens, we want, you know, have to...
Do you need that many fucking pencils? Bad things happen if there are more than or less than 6 pencils.
X-Acto knife, a single calculator. I don't need 2. So this is my curse. It's like every time, it's a simple thing. You think there's supposed to be a pad of paper, a single pad of paper. There's supposed to be this is a kind of a coolant in case you get a burn.
It's a coolant whenever you burn yourself using pencils and pens.
A tape measure.
A tape measure. God forbid that tape measure.
Oh, there actually is one.
Don't bother apologize to the guy standing right there.
For the fact that there's no roll of paper towel right next to it, which is...
Wow, don't you have glasses?
On running the shop, there's certain basic requirements that I have to have. It's like every time we do something, we need a pencil, piece of paper, a tape measure, you know, maybe an X-Acto blade, a calculator, a Sharpie to make marks on metal or whatever that we're going to cut. It's basic. So we've got about half a dozen or so of these stations around the shop, and try as I might, as long as I've had this shop, I've never been able to get anybody to keep these constantly filled exactly like they were requested to be filled. It just doesn't happen. It's kind of an out of control, like a derailed freight train around here. And
it's like a derailed freight train.
Things like that.
My life is pure misery.
Can't do it. It's impossible.
Douchebag. How old is this video? 14 years ago, 2009. Also, in his defense, he does, with the size of this desk right here, I would understand the need to hire someone else to keep it stocked, because this looks like a pain in the ass to maintain. So I do understand where his like incredibly childish mannerisms come from for him to hate on the guy. But all jokes aside, I'm not gonna specifically focus on the Mythbusters guys anymore. I think having to work with someone that you absolutely hate for a show or for a movie is horrible, because you just especially when you're meant to like uphold this like friendship persona, is horrible, because I think because it mentally drains you of all energy having to like move past all your hatred towards that person and be like, we've been friends ever since we were kids, because that's just painful. Most of the time, if you're lucky, it'll be like a one-off film, so past that, unless you do a sequel, you won't have to see them ever again, because you can just go wherever you want. Or if it's a show, you're pretty fucked, because that can take way longer, and you probably have to you have to come in frequently to do like a new season. And by that time, if you really hate a person, it's very rare that you're gonna get along better. It's like a constant cycle of you just hating on each other. But I still think the Mythbusters duo is still my favorite, because it was just clear. Because it's funny, because throughout the entire video, to me personally, it does seem like it was like, you know, both sides had their own qualities and downsides, but on this one it was just so black and white, who was the asshole and who wasn't, that I'm pretty sure they even kept the other guy, who wasn't Jamie, for future episodes of the show where they had new people, but they never brought on Jamie again, which that's just funny. But you know what, I still hope he's doing good in life. No, I fucking don't, I take that back.
And all my people's on the street. This goes out to my people's on lockdown.